Hey guys, how you doing? It's Nation here. So this is the first of the Chilling Wargamers hobby tips videos. Now I've hijacked the Chilling Wargamers just to show off, well, not really show off, throw you guys a little bone, basically. This is mainly for Spud, basically. A lot of people have asked, and a lot of people have said to me, oh, they don't get on with decals, they don't like them because they can never get them to work properly. I intend to show you how to do it. It's really, really easy. You shouldn't be afraid of them at all. If you do this process, they look like they're painted on, basically. So, what you're going to need, you're going to need a brush. Now, I've just found a skanky old one. Doesn't really matter what kind. Possibly a smaller one than this, but hey ho. You're going to need some tweezers. You're going to need a knife, sharp. Make sure it's sharp. You're going to need gloss varnish. You're going to need micro set, micro cell, and matte varnish. Now I'm using the Vallejo varnishes here. They work fine, but I believe other ones work fine as well. Just make sure you're happy with the varnishes you're using. Pretty much nearly every single piece of item here you can find on eBay pretty easily. Micro set and micro cell usually come in a pack. If they don't, they come separately. They don't cost a lot. I think it's about £3-4 quid per bottle, and yeah, they'll last ages. So don't fret too much about that side of things. You're also going to need a model to put your transfers on, and you're also going to need some decals. Now for this, I'm using some Forge World ones. We're going to use the Horus Heresy Night Lords transfer sheets. So yeah, we're going to make these look like they are painted on. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so here's step one. What we do is we take some gloss varnish and we just apply it over the area where the transfer is going to go. So now what you want to make sure you do at this point is make sure that that area is covered. So if you're going to do a shoulder pad, cover the entire shoulder pad. Don't just do like the area you think the transfer will go, do the entire shoulder pad plate. Okay, likewise if you're doing like a door for a vehicle, so do the entire door. Again, like if you're going to do, for example, like the knee pads, do like that. Now we're just going to work on a shoulder pad here just to show you how this works. Okay, so going to let that dry. So just a nice healthy dollop of it. You don't need to thin it down. Let that dry, and then we'll come back and do step two. Right guys, okay, so next step is basically we got to cut it out. Now this is probably the most dangerous point. If you're not used to it, be very, very careful at this point. I would strongly recommend using a very sharp knife. This is a scalpel blade. They're basically, you can buy them on eBay. They're medical blades, and you just put them into your little handle. We're just going to cut out the decal that we want. Now I was going for this one. I'm not 100% sure if it will fit on the shoulder pad, but we will give it a go. And I'm not entirely sure how sharp this blade is. It may need changing, but not to worry if not. And there is our decal. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what that looks like. And there is the decal. Okay, so the next part is possibly the most fiddly bit out of it. Okay, so what you want to do is, let's just show you this. These tweezers are basically, they're sort of like self-shutting. They've got a spring on them, so they will shut. I don't have to squeeze them to keep them like that, which I find very handy. And what we're then going to do is we're going to get some water, and we're just going to soak them in the water. Okay, give it a good while. If you see it float off the paper, you've left it a bit too long. And we'll see if this will actually fit over the shoulder pad or not. A little bit unsure at the moment. Okay, when you see the water start to bend a bit, I tend to find that that's usually a good sort of time. Okay, so what we're going to do, bring in our model now. If it wants to focus. You want to focus in? Focus. Okay. going to do is just slowly try and ease that off the paper. See if it wants to come off. Now if it doesn't want to come off, you just dump it back in water again. This one I don't believe wants to come off. Not yet. Okay, no, that's not ready. So this is this prime example of what can happen. If it's not ready to come off, just stick it back in the water again. Very dull bit of video. This is where I find out that Forge World transfers don't work very well. I don't know. I've never really used them before, so this will be interesting. I thought they were the same as Games Workshop, so if they don't work, then I generally will be surprised. So let's bring our guy back in. Let's get our camera to focus. Yeah, I'm on focusing. Okay, there we are. Okay, let's just see if this wants to slide now. Come on. Sometimes I find pushing the transfer works better. Like that. Seems to be working a bit better. Seems to be coming off very slowly. Come on. This isn't the ideal brush, and I would advise using a better brush for this, but there we go. There it is. Okay, cool. So now what we do is remove this around a bit. Now, I partially missed out a step here. You need to get your micro set. Dunk your brush in it and just plaster it all over here. This is just going to allow you to move the transfer around, and when it sets, it's going to hold it in place, basically. So all we do, we shift it around a bit. So we've got to a section we like. Something like that, possibly. You go up a bit higher. Should do a bit higher. Like that. Or now this is the interesting part. You've got time here, so you can play around with it. So if you think it looks better, it's more of a side on. I'm kind of liking that a bit more. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to leave that how it is. Okay. So what I do now is we're going to leave that to dry. Wait till the microset's finished drying, and then we're going to apply the microcell. So I'll see you in a moment. Right, okay, now that that's set, we're now going to take our microcell, and what we're going to do, just make sure our brush is clean. We'll load up our brush with microcell, and then just slap it on. You don't need to be neat, literally just cover it. Okay, so what is microcell about? Microcell, obviously that sets it in place. That's fair enough. Microcell is the real genius part of this, basically. What it does is you might be able to see, you possibly get some wrinkles in it. You may have seen that on other transfers or decals you've done before. You may also see this sort of edging around it that's kind of shiny and ripply. It's a pain in the butt. And I've seen, there's one too many models I've seen where that's been there, and it's just kind of ruined the illusion of it. What microset does is it kind of shrinks the decal paper. It'll it'll contract it, So if it's over a shoulder pad, it'll sort of basically suck it onto the shoulder pad and shrink it down onto it, kind of like shrink wrapping it basically. And I would leave that to dry for a fair old while. Okay, some people say 24 hours, some people say less. Your decision on it basically. But leave that to dry and that'll suck it in. Now what you'll be able to see already is the line around it. It's still there, but it's getting less and less prominent basically. So, and that's the micro sole working away there. So that's that. I'm also noticing, I'm seeing this on the camera, but wouldn't have spotted this in real life. There's a tiny little spot there. But yeah, so we'll leave that to set, let it dry off, and then we'll come back to the final step. Right, okay, now that that's dry, as you can see, you can't really see the edging around it too well. It's very, very tricky to spot it. Okay, so now here comes the last part, and this is when we call upon our matte varnish. Okay, so again, I'm just using Vallejo, and you can use other ones, it's absolutely fine. I'm just going to paint this on. You can do this on mass with an airbrush if you want a sort of a thinner, sort of more distributed coat. If you're doing like larger stuff like on vehicles, it might be more worthwhile. But I'm just going to paint this on because it's only one shoulder pad. Okay, and all we're going to do is just paint on the matte varnish. Okay, and get this all over the shoulder pad like you did before. Okay, cool. Right, so we're going to leave that to dry, and then we'll come back and have a look at the final product. Okay, and here we have the finished product. Okay, so let's just bring you in a bit closer. There we are. No shininess, no outside edging or anything like that. Just looks like it's been painted on. And that is how easy it is to do decals. You can then go over this and weather it afterwards. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, it's incredibly easy. If you've got those sort of 4 elements, gloss varnish, micro set, micro sole, and then some matte varnish, can't really go wrong with it. It's pretty easy to do. Remember, give the micro sole a fair amount of time to dry, okay, because it is going to shrink. Also, again, with the micro set, make sure it stays in it, because sometimes people can add a bit too much and it sort of, the transfer ends up just drifting off into the wrong position, so keep an eye on that. Apart from that, it's dead easy. So there you go. That is the first of the Chilling Wargamers tips. So I hope you guys liked it. If you've got any more ideas or videos you'd like to see, please drop them in the comments below, and subscribe if you could. That it all helps us out. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Stay tuned, stay safe, and wear your seatbelts, as Spud always say. See you later, guys. Bye bye.